Hey everybody, Frank Godzilla Island here for the Mazer Squad, back with another Godzilla Rivals comic review. We have Mothra vs Hedorah. This one is a pretty cool story. It follows two sisters, Astrid and Aurora. They are both twin sisters, of course. We got Mothra involved, so we gotta have twins. They work in this town that always hosts this annual Mothra Festival, and there's this company that comes to town a few months after the grandmother passes away, and one of the sisters begins working for the company, and the company ends up creating Hedorah after a meteor crash brings a little specimen of Hedorah to the planet, and Hedorah begins devastating the town. The two sisters unite, and they end up summoning Mothra, who Astrid, the more skeptical of the two sisters about Mothra, did not quite believe Mothra was real. She thought it was more of a legend, but sure enough, Mothra did appear and saves the day. This story is written by Josh Trujillo, and artist is Joshua Cornillon, and letters by Jeff Eckelberry, David Mariotti, and Nicholas Nino as the editors. I really enjoyed this story. This is actually one of my favorite ones. I know I probably say that a lot about them, but this one is probably one of my favorite ones so far from this round of Godzilla Rivals. I thought this one was fantastic. Art was great. The story was great. The story's straightforward, but there's a little more depth to it than I gave. But yeah, like I said, so here's the town. We've got the Mothra Festival going on. This is Astrid with the blue hair walking through the town. Her grandmother is setting up decorating. And they find out the grandmother, who's been sick, has not been taking her medicine. And she's like, listen, I've lived a good life. It is what it is. I don't want to feel sick and crappy from the meds, so I'll just deal with it, and whatever happens, happens. That's where we go to the billionaire, who is kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum. He has this rare disease, Lawrence Lazick. It's incurable. He's got this assistant who dresses quite scantily, very futuristic looking. The doctor's doing all these experiments on him. That is when we find out that they've been experimenting with Hedorah and testing it, and it's absorbed radiation, and it's like, all right, maybe we can get this radiation out of my body using Hedorah. So their grandmother passed away, Aurora and Astrid, and Lazick is like, let's do some more experimenting on this thing and see what we could do. That's when months later, Aurora gets the job at Hedorah Labs, and her job is waste disposal. She's basically disposing of all the Hedorah specimens. Lazick is getting experiments done on him. His doctor is not too happy with the experiment. He thinks it's crazy. They do a dose and it begins to work a little, but he's like, I want more. And the doctor's like, I don't think you should do more. He's like, let's see what the one injection does and where it goes. He goes, no, give me more. And the doctor's like, you know what, good riddance. It's all on you. I quit. You get what you get. So he has one of the other lab aides inject him, and right off the bat he has a reaction. His arm starts to swell up, and I asked both of the Joshes on Twitter if this was a Cloverfield reference. The writer said that he did not include the Cloverfield reference for this frame here, but I feel like this is an absolute Cloverfield reference. His body explodes, and out comes Hedorah and just begins devastating everybody in the lab, just eating all the chemicals, growing and growing. There's his sexy assistant there running away. She does not make it. She turns into a bone there, as you see the skeleton hand. That is at Aurora there, and she's like, what did I just witness? So she just beelines it. She's escaping the lab. The doctor's trying to run away. He thinks he's clear. He turns around and boom, gets eaten by Hedorah. No, not yet. There, he turns around and gets splattered. His face melts. And the lab's just destroyed in minutes. It was built in months, destroyed in minutes. And Hedorah goes back into its flying form, takes out a helicopter. Ash was kind of just at home listening to music, and Aurora's like, we gotta get the hell out of here. Hedorah's coming, and there's Hedorah. They go to their old, I don't know what this would be, maybe it was their parents' house because they lost their parents as well, so that's why they were with their grandmother. And there's this whole Mothra shrine, and they're like, oh, remember we used to sing to this thing? And they sing this Mothra song, and boom, Mothra appears on the cliff, and they're like, hey, Hedorah's coming, destroying the town, we need you to save it, you're the town savior, what can you do? So Mothra goes, faces off with Hedorah. They fight each other back and forth. Mothra's wing gets damaged. Hedorah's just holding its ground. Mothra's blasting it, and that's when Mothra takes it all the way up to space. Does some sort of beam, is there a cocoon there as they're up in space. The blast goes off, the two crash to the ground. Hedorah dies in the impact, which I think is a little odd for the way that Hedorah to die from impact, but I'm guessing maybe the blast didn't help. Mothra dies as well, but then a egg appears. You see a Mothra cloud on the horizon, and they're like, oh, Mothra is returning. And then our next rivals is going to be Godzilla vs Manda. Really excited to see Manda showing up in a comic. Really like this one. You know, like I said, it was a pretty straightforward story. Twin sisters, Mothra, Hedorah burst through from experimenting due to a rich guy's things. Is all waste that Hedorah feeds on grows big. Mothra fights it. Mothra wins and also dies though. Yeah, really enjoyed this one. Hope you guys did too. Let me know what you thought of the comic. What's your favorite rivals of this arc so far? Like I said, I think this one is it for me. I'm kind of curious to see what Manda does. Will Manda steal the show at the back end of this rivals round here? So let's see what's your round 3 favorite. Thank you for watching.